Welcome to another episode. Today's question is: Are young Indian guns ready for a revolution? Capable of a revolution? I'll repeat the question: Are young Indian guns capable for a revolution? The questioner asked whether the youngsters in India are capable of carrying out a revolution. That is what he wants to know. So let us see the answer to that. But what is the revolution? Armed struggles have brought only more misery to the common man. Death, poverty, violence, and it brings glory briefly to the new leaders. The people in the lower ranks, the fighters, always die of poverty or fighting for the leaders. In the fighting, the frontline soldiers are dying. During a revolutionary time, or in the other peaceful times, they die of poverty because all the benefits, the money goes to the top leaders where they comfortably live. So-called leaders usurp the power and money, enriching themselves. That always happens, whether you are revolutionary or not. That is a basic human tendency. We are all after power and money. So any revolutionary change is merely a modified continuity. There is no real change. You have new dogmas, new people, but the same old thing basically for a common man. It's only a modified continuity. Then what is the true revolution? True revolution is in your heart, in your mind. You transform yourself, not others. First you transform yourself. And it is not with guns. Once you understand the society is rotten and transform yourself, then that is the true revolution. So we will see some extract from Krishnamurti's talks in India in 1953. Most of us are accustomed to find out what to do. We have examples, we have heroes, precepts, ideals that we can follow. But what is important is the manner of our thinking, because if there can be a revolution there, then perhaps it is possible to bring about a revolution in our action. So when the revolution comes, when there is a revolution inside you, in your mind, in your way of thinking, then a real revolution is possible. That's what he is trying to say. So it is not important to find out how to think. Is it not important to find out how to think, not what to do? Because the moment we are conditioned by an activity, by a system of thought, our actions become more and more complex, more and more confusing, more and more irksome, conditioned, disciplined, shaped, and therefore out of that more confusion arises. So it seems to me, what is important is to find out how to think, and perhaps then there is a possibility of changing that thought, bringing about a revolution in our thinking, and thereby creating a new way of life, a new way of action. There is a state of being, which is revolution, and there is a state of becoming, which is confusion. So state of being, understanding yourself and having a clear perception is a revolution. And the state of becoming something is merely a confusion. Most of us are accustomed to becoming something more, altering the course of action, and adjusting it to a particular pattern of thought, following a leader, developing a virtue, changing from greed to non-greed, cultivating or practicing certain ways of thinking. And all that implies, does it not, a becoming in which there is no change at all, no revolution at all. Becoming is only a form of continuity, in that there is no revolution, there is no transformation ever possible. A transformation and revolution is only possible in the state of being. Now, the becoming can never understand the being. When the becoming watches the being is not. Action is necessary. Wars must be stopped. There must be no starvation. We recognize that a revolution is essential. A revolution which is fundamental, wide, not narrow, not partial, not limited. A total revolution is necessary. On investigation, we can see that the mind cannot bring about such a revolution. The communist, the socialist, or the so-called religious person cannot bring about a revolution that is total. They can do partial reformation, partial change, but it will be a modified continuity. What he is telling, what we want is a total revolution, not partial. Partial means it is a modified continuity. So how does a total revolution come? Total revolutions come from within you, in your way of thinking. Fundamentally, you change. A total revolution is necessary in order to bring about a different world. A world which is not yours or mine, but together, ours together. And that revolution can only come about when there is being, not becoming. So whatever effort you make in the revolution of being is a denial of a revolution. That is, if I make an effort to understand the state of being in which there is a radical revolution, that being becomes a dead state. So when my mind understands this whole thing, my mind becomes very quiet. Then it does not make an effort to be or not to be. Please follow this. The mind becomes quiet and then you understand the whole process of becoming. So you understand this. You don't try to become something. That is a modified continuity. But to understand what you are, your beingness, then that is a total revolution. It is only when the mind is no longer seeking to aggrandize itself, seeking a result, seeking to bring about an action through ideas, that is the possibility of a revolution, which is not of the mind, which is not of the product of thought. So when the mind is not seeking to aggrandize itself, making it bigger, self-seeking, when that is not there, then that is true revolution, which is not a product of thought. That revolution is the revolution of being, of truth, of love. This is not sentimental, a superstition, a religious bogey. This is not a myth, but a reality that can be discovered by each one. So you can all of us can discover this. Find out our being instead of making it, seeking more or becoming something else. To understand oneself, that is the reality. It can be found when we are really earnest, when you know how to listen to something which is true and let the truth operate. Let that cleanse the mind of all thoughts. Next we will see Thought is Your Enemy from E.G. Krishnamurti. Your value system is one that is responsible for human malady, the human tragedy, forcing everybody to fit into that model. So what do we do? You cannot do anything by destroying the value system because you will replace one value system with another. Even those who revolt against religion, like those communist countries, have themselves created another kind of value system. So revolution does not mean the end of anything. It is only a re-evaluation of our value system. So that needs another revolution, and so on and so on. There is no way. Revolution only means revaluation of our value system. After a while, things settle down and then they go just again. But it is basically modified continuity of the same. In that process, what horrors we have committed, you know that. So what E.G. Krishnamurti says is, we have created a value system in the society. What is good, bad, who is to be respected, all these value systems are there in our life. And what we normally do, we replace this value system with something else. We call that revolution. But it is the same story. The parameters are changed. But no improvement, nothing. To understanding that is true revolution. That will solve the problems. Not replacing one value system with another. You destroy one and replace with another. And in that process, in the destruction and re-Christianing new value system, horrors are committed, people are killed, economy is going to be in shambles. Poor people will die, fighters will die, and ultimately what you get? You have replaced one value system with another, and new leaders will emerge who will become corrupt. So that is it. So the question asked, is the young minds capable of revolution? The revolution should be within everyone's heart, everyone's perception, everyone's thinking, not through guns. With this, we will end this episode. Stay with me for another episode. Subscribe to my channel. Share this video. Thank you.